Greetings and hello again, friends and family in spirit. Today, I would like to begin a series of talks on the topic of lust, because the work of purification has its foundation in the sexual energy, hence why the sexual energy itself is called the foundation, Yesod, on the tree of life. So to change our constitution and our psyche, we need to work with the sexual energy. This is something that everybody knows in these studies. There will be several episodes of talks on this topic, and so I'm going to call these episodes Fighting Fire with Fire. And the reason why I am calling these series of talks Fighting Fire with Fire is because fire represents lust, and we need to fight the fire with the fire of willpower. And that willpower needs to be Christ-like. We need to have Christ-like willpower in order to conquer our lust. There are many students who not only suffer from wet dreams and suffer from nocturnal pollutions at night and sexual falls in the alchemical work, but also there are students who struggle very hard with egos of masturbation and pornography. Just for this talk today, I would like to just give a little practice, even though it's not a practice, but there is something I would like to offer for all the students to do when we suffer from lust. But before I speak about this practice, I would like to remind everybody of a story about Samael and pornography. When Samael first wrote the book, The Perfect Matrimony, and of course I'm paraphrasing this whole experience. If you want to know the experience, you need to find it in his books. When he completed The Perfect Matrimony and he released it to the public, that night he had an experience in the internal worlds where he was face to face with certain black magicians and certain heads of the Black Lodge, and they came to him and said, "Samael, we know what you are doing, and we are going to make you pay." So, in that experience, Samael, he thought that they were going to try disincarnate him, try to kill him. And it was like the next day, I believe, when he found out that the first ever pornographic image or pornographic photography was released, and from there the pornography films came after. So pornography is a creation of the Black Lodge as a counter reaction towards Samael on behalf of the White Lodge bringing the teachings of chastity. It was the Black Lodge's retaliation to the teachings of purity, so they brought the teachings of impurity into its new level of degeneration. So the reason why I'm narrating this experience is because I want you to know, especially the students that suffer from masturbation and pornography addiction, that there is nothing of value in those behaviors or in those videos. Of course, it's difficult to just say that, but to live with the addiction is harder to break. Recently, I had a student write to me who suffered from masturbation pornography addiction. And in that experience, he was online on a website and he began indulging in some images of pornography. And as he was indulging, he heard the voice of his innermost, his inner Christ, who said to him 3 times, "You should stop, you should stop, you should stop." What that was the voice of his inner Christ telling him to stop those behaviors, because when we indulge in any desire, we are in truth torturing and whipping our inner Christ. We are betraying him for pieces of silver. We betray our inner Christ with a kiss. So, in that respect, our inner Christ does not want us to indulge in such degenerate behaviors, but wants us to be chaste and pure. Each time we indulge in a desire, we spit on our inner Christ. We whip him, we torture him, we put him through a lot of pain. When people hear about the story of the Passion, they see it as something that only happened 2,000 years ago. But what people don't understand is that it's happening from moment to moment in every day of our lives. It happens in every second that we are presented with a desire and we have a choice to indulge, or we have the voice of our inner Christ telling us, no, you don't need it. Each time we pick the desire, we betray our inner Christ, and it is indeed very painful. So friends and family in spirit, what I would like for you to do, and you can do this now, today, or whenever you have time to do it. But not only now, but each time you indulge in, let's say, masturbation or pornography, or even if you have a wet dream, we need our conscience to vibrate intensely. So I would invite you all, if you have the luxury, to purchase or to rent the film The Passion of the Christ on YouTube, or if you have another means of ascertaining that film, I would advise you all to have the film in your possession, but to watch it from an esoteric perspective. And what I mean by that is not to see the Passion of Christ as an external phenomenon, but I invite you to perceive the film esoterically, that each person in the film is representing an aspect of our psyche. All the people who slander who betray, who whip, who stone, who spit, who accuse, who torture, and who crucify Christ are all aspects of our subconscious, all aspects of our I, our egos. The ones who whip him are our egos. The ones who question him, the Pharisees, are aspects of our egos of pride. Judas, an aspect of an ego within us who betrays Christ with a kiss. Each time we watch the film, we must see that our inner Christ is being tortured, whipped, crucified. So I invite you to watch that film as soon as you purchase it, just to have our conscience stimulated and vibrate. And the reason why I am inviting you all to do this is two reasons, which are connected. The first reason is to stimulate remorse within our conscience. Because, truth be told, one cannot change without remorse. Without remorse, we do not comprehend. Without remorse, we do not extract the trapped consciousness inside the ego. Therefore, without remorse, we will never change our bad behaviors. Think of a time where you've done something bad to somebody and you knew you made them suffer, but you felt terrible after it and you never wanted to do that to the person again. It could have been your parents, your family, your partner, your friends. It was the pain that you felt causing another person to suffer, which stopped you from doing that action ever again, because you did not want to put them through it, through the pain. So remorse is the key to comprehension, to extracting our trapped consciousness. The second reason is, when I shared this with the student that I am speaking of, he sent me a message a couple of days later and said he went onto his phone and he could feel his ego was coming up, pulling him towards certain websites that were going to stimulate his lust. And instantly, when he was about to do that, he saw his inner Christ on the crucifix with the crown of thorns, looking at him, crying. So that practice of watching the Passion of Christ esoterically was ingrained into his consciousness. So the next time the ego of lust came to make him indulge, his inner Christ was there at the ready to show him what he was doing to his inner Christ by indulging. Each time you have a fall, friends, or each time you indulge in a behavior in which you shouldn't have, watch the Passion of Christ. This is a form of penance, so to speak, or a way of stimulating remorse and being repentant for our actions. What I want is to stimulate the inner Christ within each and every one of you who are listening. And the outcome being that your inner Christ is the one who will sensitize your heart, so that any time an ego of lust comes to tempt you, your inner Christ will show you the pain that you are causing him. And truly, it is very painful to see what we put our inner Christ through, all in the name of pleasure, of worldly pleasure. This recording will be a short recording today because I just wanted to share this exercise with you. But before I end it, there is one more story I would like to share, which is a story I heard from a missionary. The story goes that there was a couple who are on the path, who are practicing chastity, and they were performing the alchemy. So they were on the path for some time, and they refined the alchemical practice. But there was a time, there was a day, there was an hour where the alchemical practice came, and they performed the practice, but the wife and the husband both felt a little bit more passion than usual, and the wife decided to indulge in the passion and stimulate more fire than that was necessary in the alchemical act. It was becoming very heated, so to speak. But in that moment, while her eyes were closed, a vision of the Christ appeared to her. And that Christ was crucified on the cross. While he looked down at this woman with the crown of thorns, causing blood to drip from his face, and he said to her in this moment, in this experience, "You are doing this to me. Why are you doing this to me?" And in that moment she stopped and restrained her passion. And in that moment she never let passion get the better of her again, because her inner Christ told her that she was crucifying him in that moment. So my friends, today I just wanted to share this little exercise with you all, because I truly do think it is very powerful, and it can definitely change our behaviors. To feel the pain of what we are doing to our inner Christ is truly remorseful. It's one of the most emotional, painful things that one can ever feel. So, brothers and sisters, I leave you with this practice. And on the next episode of Fighting Fire with Fire, we will talk about lust in the hopes to help each one of you on your journey of conquering the jewel of chastity. Inferential peace.